The words landed on the marble floor between us, and for a moment the silence after was louder than her voice. "He's rich, and not an impotent like you." She didn't yell, she whispered it, like poison passed between lovers at a final supper. I watched her face, still flushed from the wine. Her lips curled just slightly as if the insult gave her warmth. A cruel kind of warmth. She tilted the glass toward her mouth again. I didn't speak. Not because I was stunned, but because I'd already known. I walked out of the room. Not in rage, not in sadness, in silence. And that's when it hit her. The absence, the lack of protest, the coldness in my retreat. It struck harder than any shouted word, because silence means calculation, and she'd forgotten I was capable of that. I'd started noticing it 3 months ago. The way her phone stayed upside down, the extra 30 seconds in the bathroom after every call, the perfume on nights we weren't going anywhere. At first, I questioned myself, not her. I wondered if I was becoming paranoid or bitter. She said I worked too much, said I didn't try anymore, that maybe I'd given up on myself, on us. I nodded, apologized, bought her flowers. She never touched them. Then one night she mentioned him, casually, like a fading memory. "I ran into Faraz at a mall. You remember him from college." I remembered every detail. The man who left her the night before their engagement. The man whose name she never said, not even in anger, until now. That's when the sound started. Not out loud, inside me. Like a clock ticking behind the walls. And I knew. She started sleeping early. I stayed up late, pretending to work. But really, I was watching, listening, measuring. Her habits shifted, phone always locked, laughter behind doors. Then the condoms in her purse. We hadn't used them in years. I didn't confront, I documented. The receipts from a hotel in Baharia Town, twice, same room, 2 weeks apart. The fake Pilates classes, the sudden obsession with how she looked, only after 7 p.m. I tracked the calls, bought another SIM, forwarded her logs. Then, the test. A single vial of my blood, a hairbrush from her drawer, DNA. Not for her, for me. I needed to be certain the child she lost last year had even been mine. The results took 8 days. In that time, I cooked her breakfast, listened to her tell stories about work, watched her eyes sparkle at her own lies. I smiled. I waited. Tick, tick. The envelope was thick. The results? Sterile, conclusive. No paternal link detected. My hands didn't shake. My pulse didn't rise. Instead, I poured her tea. Mint, her favorite. I placed the envelope beside her cup without a word. She stared at it, then at me. And in that moment, she knew. Not just what was inside, but that I already knew. She opened it slowly. Eyes scanned the words. Once, twice. Her lips parted. No sound came. A flicker of panic bloomed behind her perfectly painted eyes. She reached for me. I pulled back, slightly. She whispered, "I can explain." I tilted my head, like a surgeon examining a patient. Detached, clinical. "I believe you," I said, and left the room. 2 nights later, I invited her family for dinner, even her aging father, who thought I was too quiet for a man. Everyone dressed nice. Everyone smiled. Halfway through dessert, I brought out the laptop, connected it to the TV. A slideshow. Receipts, GPS records, hotel footage, the DNA report. Click, click, click. Every secret, every betrayal, laid out before a stunned, silent room. She didn't cry. She trembled. Her brother stood up. Her mother gasped. Her father cursed under his breath. I said nothing. When it ended, she turned to me, eyes pleading. "You planned this?" she asked. I finally looked at her. "I don't plan revenge," I said. "I just finish what your love started." Then I stood, straightened my collar, and left my own home. She called for weeks, messages, voicemails, emails with long apologies and half-truths. I never replied. Eventually, they stopped. Now I live in a smaller apartment. No photographs on the wall. No sound of heels clicking on the floor. Just peace. Not the warm kind, not the joyful kind, but the kind that comes after war, when the battlefield is finally quiet. Sometimes I still hear her words. "He's rich, and not an impotent like you." I smile, because I know something she never will. Impotence isn't the inability to create life. It's the inability to recognize value. She mistook my silence for weakness. She thought wealth was power. She thought love was owed. And now she knows better. Final line: she broke something inside me, and I made sure it never healed for her.